Vlogmas Day 3. So I didn't continue vlogging yesterday after I went to lunch because, as you saw, my car didn't turn on. It was going like so I ended up getting my boss to pick me up and take me home after work. And when my husband got home, we went to, this is the coffee if you see that smoke. After my husband got home, we went back to the Dollar Tree to look at the car. And we didn't go home till 10 o'clock. But, so he's like, oh, it's the battery. He kept saying it's the battery, it's the battery, it's the battery. So I was like, okay. So he takes out his jumper cables. And that's another thing, because I don't have jumper cables. I don't have like tools in my car. I have like the window cleaner. But like things that you would need, no. Because he was telling me when I went to lunch that, you know, see if somebody around will give you a jump. Okay, well, I don't got no jumper cables. This is those skinny something coffee syrup things. I think this looks nicer than having 4 different bottles. And I just put literally a little bit. So when he got there, he put them on. Boom, the car turned on. So it was so cold. Maybe just a little bit of sugar. So he turns on the car. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. You know, we get in the car. You know, so he's like, I'll meet you at home. So I'm like, okay. Because we had went in his car. So I go to put it in reverse. I put it in reverse, go to give it gas, and it doesn't move. It's like that. So he's like, so I'm like, it's not moving, it's not moving. So he gets in the car, he hits the gas, and then he puts it in reverse and it goes back. So he goes around the Dollar Tree parking lot. He comes around and he says, go home, take my car, I'll meet you there. And so he goes. And I'm like, so this man was coming. So I was like, hey, that's my car. Okay. And the guy starts laughing. He's like, did he just take your car? And I'm like, no, it's okay. So I get in his car and, you know, I can't just get into a car and drive off. Like, I have to adjust my seat. I have to adjust the mirror. So I start leaving the parking lot. And then when I go, he's in the corner at like a storage place. And he's like, because it was so dark. Like, I was looking like, who the hell is that? And I was going to keep going until my car like hit it. And I saw that was my car. So it was like, you know, it's a 2-way road. It's a back road, but you can't really just stop there. So luckily nobody was coming behind me. I did like one of those broken U-turns, but I just backed in next to him. And he's like, it just shut off. It just shut off. So I pushed it. I guess it took that long that I was adjusting my seat, because, you know, it's like, it's not like before where you hit the click and back, you know? So I was like, so what do we have to do now? So he was like, he gave it another jump, right? He plugged, unplugged, he put it onto his, and then he turned it on and it turned on. When he went to unhook it, it shut off. And he was like, it's gotta be, listen, I don't know these terms. Connector, adjuster, something where it goes through, I don't know. So we went to AutoZone. So then I said to him, if it's the battery, we should take the battery. And he was like, yeah, because if it's defective, blah, blah, blah. You know, they give you, I think, the $25 difference or whatever for the battery. So we open the hood and we're trying to unscrew it, and it's so like corroded, but it's a new battery. Like, I don't understand. So I said to him, we haven't had this battery not even a year, like maybe a year and like 2 months or something like that. So we get to AutoZone and the guy's like, oh, you see this blue, that's corrosion, you know, it's the battery, it's gotta be the battery, blah blah blah. So I said to him, well, we bought it here. So he said, well, I don't think it's under warranty because the battery's already 2 years old. And I was like, we haven't had this battery 2 years. So he looks us up in the computer. Sure enough, we were still under warranty by literally a few months. So he's like, well, I have to do some tests, you know, the store policy. And he's got to run it and do whatever. And it was going to take an hour. And I was like, by then it was like 8:30. And I was like, oh. So I was this close to just saying, listen, just give me a new battery. I don't even want to wait for it. So the guy's like, you know, it's under warranty. If it's the battery, we'll give you a new one. No cost to you. So then I was like, okay. So I said to my husband, let's go pick up Kennedy's, like chicken and fries or whatever, and take it home and eat. Because we hadn't had dinner yet. Like when I got home, I was just like, ugh. You know, so I was gonna start cooking and stuff, but then I was like, if he comes and is like, let's go, and I'm in the middle, you can't really just shut things off, you know? So I was finishing up an iced coffee, and then we got the food, we came home, we ate, and my husband was like, you know, the guy's right, and you know, after what he was saying, you know, it made sense, blah, blah, blah. Because, you know, sometimes you hear these people and you're like, you just want to make money, like you're not even hearing me. But this guy was like, you know, it could be this, could be that. Then he was saying that the trick to those battery not getting corroded is Pepsi or ginger ale, the fizz, you know, takes away the corrosion. I don't know. Or when you get a new battery, put some Vaseline on the tip so that it doesn't get corroded. So we were like, okay. So we put the battery on. We got the battery, no charge. He said it was the battery. It was still under warranty, so he gave us a new battery. And then we came back. So the guy that was in the storage place, when we were coming down, I forgot to say this. When we were passing the car to go get the battery, there was a guy there taking pictures. And I said to my husband, the guy in the storage place is taking pictures. You know, he's probably going to call the tow truck. So we stopped and he was like, and I said to him, hey, that's my car. And so he said, this is your car? So I knew he was Spanish. So I said to him in Spanish that was my car. The battery died. We're going to go get a battery. And he was like, oh, I didn't know whose car this was. But I have to close the gates. Now, the back of the car was like this much from where the gates would close. So then my husband's like, the guy said, can you just move it a little? So I said to my husband, I'll put it in neutral. But when I got in the car and he got behind me to push, it wouldn't move. So I said to him, there's no battery in it. Like, it's not gonna move. So I said to the guy, it's like, oh, I have to go. And he was Spanish. So I said to him in Spanish, we're going literally up the road to get the battery and we'll come back. So he was like, can you just close the gate, pull this one and then this one, and you're gonna put the lock in? And we were like, okay, yeah. So somebody was driving in as we were leaving, and so he was leaving behind us. And so then we got the battery. When we came back, we lifted the lid, the hood, to put the batteries in, and he was there. So I said, oh, what happened? And he said, well, you know, I didn't want you guys to close the lock and leave and say maybe there was someone in here, because, you know, you got to walk around and blah, blah, blah. So I just felt better, you know, waiting. So he went to another storage, locked up, and then came back, and we still weren't back. So we put the battery, and at first it was like, rank, 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 rank. And I was like, oh my God, it's not the battery. But then my husband turned it on and it went vroom, and then the lights turned on and so bright. So then he was like, I'm gonna take yours and you go behind me just in case. So then I said, you know, we should give the guy something. So my husband went and gave him 20 bucks. And the guy was like, oh, no, no, no. And he was like, no, thank you. You know, you could have told us, and it would have been even worse. And, you know, you were working with us, blah, blah, blah. The guy was like, oh, thank you, you know, be safe, blah, blah, blah. So we drove home. And all he did was put the battery, because, you know, you have to put that little lock thing that holds the battery in place so it's not, like, jiggling. So he was like, I'll drive it to the house, which was like a mile down the road. And then when we get to the garage, we'll start doing it. And I was like, oh, thank God. So it didn't end up costing nothing. Because my thought was, I'm going to need a new battery. It's going to be about $100 if this guy told me while we're out. And, you know, sometimes they're like, okay, but then you leave and then they told you anyway. I was like, that'll be like another $500-600. Oh my God. But thank God everything worked out. So after he put the battery, he changed some fuses because the car turned on, but the radio and everything was still off. So then he looked at the fuse and it was blown. He changed that. And then he was like, we're gonna drive to the light and come back. And I was like, it was already 10 p.m. So we drove down to the light. I made a U-turn and I was listening and everything was fine. And I was like, but you know, it took so long from 5 o'clock that we started to getting the battery, coming back, waiting the hour, doing this, doing that. It was like, and it was so cold. When I tell you it was so cold, it was so cold. Like my hands were like, ugh. And right now I get in my car and I leave. So like I didn't get my gloves, I didn't get a scarf. You know, I had my coat and you know, I didn't have a hat, but I was wearing my mask. So having the mask, you feel a little bit warm. But it was such, I was saying to myself, if it's not this, then I need a new car. Like I can't afford a new car right now. It's Christmas time and we have like other things we're trying to do and stuff. But thank God everything worked out. So I know I've been babbling for a few minutes, but I left off at the end of the video like that. I didn't want you guys to think that I wasn't gonna, you know, say what happened, but that's what happened. So I'm gonna have my coffee, then we're gonna go into the beauty room, and then we'll keep talking. to lunch. You know, I was getting ready this morning and I just totally lost track of time. When I was over here videoing and laughing, I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go. And I was the opener, so I got here like literally 3-4 minutes before my time. So I didn't get to like do the drive-by and whatnot. I mean, not the drive-by, when I was heading out. So I'm actually heading to Rite Aid because last year around this time I went to Rite Aid and I had found these beautiful horses. Did I just say horses? Reindeers and horses. These beautiful reindeers, they were on clearance. They were already 50% off and it wasn't even Christmas yet. So I want to just see what they have as far as like Christmas decor, and maybe I'll get like a granola or something because I'm not really hungry. It's kind of early, but I'm working till 6, so I figured let me just, and today for sure I want to try to make the flan for sure. Maybe I'll stop at Burger King after, but I really want to just see if they have those reindeers that I was looking at, because if they do, I want to pick some up. And I don't know if I want to keep them or like give them away, like, because I think they were beautiful. And I know anyone, even if you have, you know, if you've got glam decor, you want a reindeer. If you have farmhouse, you want a deer. If you have country, I'm pretty sure you want a deer. So let me go before I run over that dog. I think any style you'd enjoy it. So I don't know if I'm gonna give it away or keep it, but I wanted to see like what they have. So let me park right over here. And let's go inside. Hey guys, so I know it's kind of dark. I just got out of work. I'm heading home. We're gonna pick up Chinese. I'm gonna try to make the flan today, and then I'm gonna video it. Hopefully I can get the sugar part, because I know making the caramel is the hardest part of all. So if I can get that up, if I can get it done this first time, I'll include it here. If not, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, and then in tomorrow's Vlogmas I'll show you what happens. Bye guys.